really. I'm not joking. Yeah. This guy is a doctor, okay? This guy is a guest in our hostel, Sheni Hostel.
Go with the cigarette.
And he's promoting healthy lifestyle. And cigarette can be worse than corona, by the way.
Nicotine is actually a therapeutic treatment for things like diabetes and the likes. It is therapeutic. 4 cigarettes a day is therapeutic dosage. I smoke a lot.
Really? That's why they say that the people who smoke could be
when
like...
you look at the parasympathetic nervous system, that's the one that controls the immune system.
Okay. Yeah.
And the parasympathetic nervous system has 2 types of receptors: muscarinic and nicotinic receptors.
Okay.
And the nicotinic receptors are the anti-inflammatory receptors. Okay, so the nicotine actually helps with anti-inflammatory cycle in the body. That's why when you get really stressed, you want to smoke a cigarette. Because it drops the inflammation, it drops the cortisol reactions in the body. So it actually helps to counteract inflammatory conditions like asthma and diabetes and the likes. Yeah.
I'm asthmatic also. But as long as I live in Tbilisi, asthma is gone because air is very important. Tbilisi, I love. That's why I love this city. You know.
That's very good.
Can you tell me one more time, please, about coronavirus? What do you think about?
Well, number one, corona is the oldest virus that we know of. It's actually quite a big virus. It's always one of the first that we ever got an actual image of in electron spectroscope or electron microscope, right? Yeah. But it's a very big range. We've got lots and lots of different coronaviruses. Any pneumonia, okay, that is viral pneumonia, is corona. That's absolute. There's no other type of pneumonia but corona. So anybody who's ever gotten pneumonia in their lives has gotten corona. In my old textbooks, corona is common cold. That's what we call it. It's the common cold. Okay?
That's what?
It's very, 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 very common. If you've ever been sick, and the thing about it is, if you get corona infection, you're immune sort of for 2 or 3 years. So a lot of people, you get really sick for like 1 year, we call it the flu. It's not always the flu, okay? Quite often it's a corona infection. And you feel kind of sick, and then you recover, and then you don't get sick for a few more years because you got an immunity for a few years, okay? But then you can get it again. But if you're over 70, you cannot get travel insurance against pneumonia, okay? Because it's so common.
And right? My question is, what's the difference to this corona to old corona you are talking about? Why they try to make us scared of this corona right now?
This one?
Yeah. Why they try to make us scared and they
go all the way back to the 80s. Okay, let's talk about SARS. Let's talk about H1N1. Let's talk about swine flu. Let's talk about how many different things. Okay, SARS is corona. Okay, yes, MERS. That's swine, big scare. Ebola. That's corona. Swine flu. MERS is a coronavirus. SARS is a coronavirus. Okay. Remember the SARS, sudden acute respiratory syndrome,
China.
And they had all the tests at the airports and all that kind of stuff. Blah blah blah. That was theorized to be just as dangerous. The MERS, the virus that was about 5 years ago, that was supposed to be just as dangerous. That was also coronavirus. Okay. Then in between we got the swine flus. Okay. The first H1N1 was 1978. All right, and they're scaring us every fucking year. Why it got traction this year, I don't know. But every year there is something we're supposed to be afraid of. Ebola, for God's sake, Ebola. Come on.
It's worse than this.
Ebola.
It's worse.
Zika, for God's sake. Zika, what the hell? The vector for Zika is a specific mosquito that doesn't exist in America. What's everybody scared about?
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, come on. Okay?
So, for summarizing this thing, so what we should do, normal people like us, what we should do? What
flu is more deadly and we've got a vaccine for it. Okay? The flu season is still more deadly. And we have vaccines for flu. So even a vaccine's not going to work yet. Okay. What do we have? We wait. Do we already? Look, take a look at death rate versus infection rate. Okay. You look at your death rate per day in March.
Yeah.
It's less than
Today your death rate. Okay. Now in March we had what? 1 million at the most infected worldwide.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now we've got 60 million infected worldwide, but our death rate is lower because we're developing innate immunity. That's how herd immunity works. 20% of the people get infected, and somehow some kind of innate 100 monkey style of immunity starts developing. You know, some people just become immune.
That's
all right. Nobody's dying.
Slowly it will become even better and better.
It just goes away. You understand? By the time we started vaccinating against polio, less than 1% of people who contracted polio actually developed any symptom.
Yeah, that's right.
You understand?
Thank you, man.
We developed an immunity by the time we developed the vaccine.
This speech will be on our page, okay? Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you. Yeah.